Hey guys, welcome back to the shop here in Toronto. This is James. So I just wanted to go over today fitting your ferrules with ferrule station cutters. I know there's a few guys out there making them, and I've tried a few, and I had some great results. I had some scary results. I've ended up now, I just made a set of my own, and you know, it's 01 tool steel, which I had to harden, so it's plenty hard. It's got a precision hole in it and 4 cutting blades, which are sharpened and have a relief angle of about 7 degrees on them, so I'm able to slide that in while the rod section is spinning in the lathe and cut a really nice hole exactly the right size. So I've got all the different ones here, actually a couple more I have to finish up, but you know, one for each popular size of ferrule, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to show you this aspect of fitting the ferrules, and then we're going to go over to the lathe and get this thing spinning. So I've got a typical section here. This is a butt section of a rod, and I've measured it with my micrometer, and it came out to 0.226, which is kind of like 14 and a half. So if I used a 14 ferrule cutter, that's a flat to flat dimension, I should have mentioned, so that's from flat to flat. If I use a 14 ferrule, I'm going to have to cut below the flat to flat measurement, which isn't ideal, although you can certainly do it. It's not a big deal, but when in doubt, you know, I'm going to go up to the other side, which is 234. It's going to be a lot better fit than going the other way. So what we do is we take a depth measurement here, find out how deep this is. This is a standard Super Swiss ferrule, and I make a pencil mark at the full length of the ferrule, and then a second pencil mark here which represents where the ferrule tabs are. So what I'm going to do on the lathe is cut down to the first section only, and then I'm going to feather up to the second section. So you should learn your decimals, you know, when you're looking at your ferrules. So there's a 14 ferrule is 2188 or 219, and then a 15 ferrule is 234. So these are just stated as decimals. And as I mentioned, I'm at 226. So I think a better fit for this rod would be to go with the 15 ferrule, so I'm not cutting below the flat to flat measurement. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set this up in the lathe. We're going to run, first of all, I'm not sure how much noise is going to be made on this lathe, so maybe what I'll do is, I won't talk that much, but what I plan to do is, I'm going to run the 16 cutter down, because I know that the corner to corner measurement is greater than a 16, so that's going to relieve some of the corners. I'm going to run my file here, just to give it a bit of a ramp. Then I'm going to run my 15 up to here. Then I'm going to run the 16 all the way up to here. So I'm going to cut just this little 1/4 inch section with a 16. So that's going to give me a smaller step back to the rod section. So we're going to spin it. We're going to run a file on it. We're going to run the 16 up to step 1. Then we're going to run the 15 up to step 1. Then we're going to run the 16 all the way up to step 2. And that's going to be that. And then we'll see how our ferrule fits. Hey guys, before I really confuse somebody, I just want to mention, this is a scrap piece of rod section I'm using, and I know that I'm putting a male section on what looks like a butt section, but this is just scrap. I'm just showing you how the cutters work, so don't think that I've lost my mind and put this thing on upside down. This is a swelled butt that when it came out, it had a couple of big smiles down at the bottom of the butt section, so it was unusable. So this has just been hanging around as scrap. So hopefully I don't confuse you. I'm just going to hook up the lathe here and we're going to get going.